Min An froze in the doorway, her breath shallow and uneven. The empty garage replayed in her mind like a looping nightmare. She pushed open the kitchen door, heels clicking against the tiles. Inside, her parents sat at the table, eyes fixed on the wood grain. Her younger sister, Lynn, stared at her phone, pretending calm. The air felt thick, too still, too heavy to be normal. "Where's my car?" Min An asked, her voice low and sharp. Her mother's eyes flickered up, soft, almost pleading. "Sweetheart, don't be angry. We had no choice." The words barely registered before Lynn spoke. "It's just temporary. I'll pay it all back soon." Min An blinked, not understanding, not wanting to. Her father's hands trembled on the table, rough and guilty. "We took the Mustang to the pawn shop," he said quietly. "We needed the money for Lynn's business." Min An's pulse roared in her ears, drowning everything else. "You what?" she whispered, the sound strangled and fragile. Her mother reached forward, fingers shaking. "It's only a loan. We'll get it back once Lynn's project starts selling." Lynn straightened, voice rising with false confidence. "My cosmetics line will change everything. I just needed a little help." Min An's stomach twisted, rage simmering beneath disbelief. "You forged my signature," she said slowly. Her mother flinched. The silence that followed was an admission in itself. "You stole from me," Min An said, louder this time. Her father looked away, unable to meet her eyes. "We thought you'd understand. You make good money. You can afford it." The words sliced through her like glass. Her entire body trembled with fury. "Understand," she repeated, almost laughing. "That you used my car, my name, my dream, like it was nothing." Lynn's lips quivered, tears welling. "I just wanted a chance like you had," she said softly. "I worked for mine," Min An hissed. "I didn't take it from someone else." Her phone buzzed in her pocket, a message from her insurance company. Newly and recorded, it read, confirming the damage. Her hands went cold, the phone slipping to the floor. This wasn't only betrayal, it was fraud. And it had her name on it. Her mother started crying, the sound sharp and desperate. "Please, don't make this bigger than it is." Min An's eyes burned, her jaw tight. "It's already bigger," she said. "It's criminal." Her father stood, reaching for her arm, but she stepped back. 30 days, she said flatly. "You have 30 days to fix this." Her voice didn't shake this time. She grabbed her suitcase, her heels clicking like gunfire against the tile. Behind her, her mother sobbed, Lynn called her name, her father begged. But she didn't look back. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the family portraits. For the first time, the house didn't feel like home. It felt like the scene of a crime. The pawn shop smelled of dust and stale air. Min An stood at the counter, her blazer stiff, her pulse louder than the noise outside. The man behind the glass adjusted his glasses and smiled mechanically. "Name?" he asked. "Min An," she replied, sliding her ID forward. He typed slowly, keys clicking like ticking seconds. "Yes, the Mustang. Brought in 5 days ago," he said. Her breath caught. "How much?" she asked, already dreading the number. 1 billion dong, plus our service fees." He turned the monitor toward her. The loan agreement glowed on the screen. Her signature sat at the bottom, elegant but wrong. Too straight, too neat, too fake. "This isn't my signature," she said quietly. The man frowned, leaning closer. "Ma'am, we verify all paperwork." "Compare it," she snapped, pulling out her ID and bank documents. He hesitated, then looked between them. The difference was obvious. His face paled a little. "I'll have to call my manager," he said. Minutes stretched into an hour. The manager arrived, expression cautious, voice calm. "Are you accusing someone of fraud?" "I'm statting it," Min An said. "I was in Paris when this happened. Check your footage." They disappeared into the back room, whispering. When they returned, the manager's tone had changed. "You're right," he said slowly. The woman who signed didn't match her photo. Her heart dropped. It wasn't a stranger. It was Lynn. Her sister's face on the screen, nervous, smiling too hard. Her parents beside her, silent, watching. It felt like being punched without warning. The air left her lungs, replaced by something cold and metallic. The manager cleared his throat. "We can file a police report immediately." Minh An shook her head. "I need time," she whispered. Outside, the world felt distant. She sat in her car, hands gripping the wheel, but she couldn't start it. Images of her family replayed, dinners, birthdays, small moments that now felt false. She drove home to her apartment, the silence louder than traffic. A family photo album lay on her coffee table. She opened it, page by page. Lynn's 16th birthday, a huge party, a designer dress. Her own missing entirely. Lynn's graduation, a limousine. Her college ceremony, empty chairs where her parents should have been. Her chest tightened, eyes stinging. This wasn't one mistake. It was years of imbalance, years of invisible hurt. Her phone rang. It was her uncle, voice rough with anger. "They told me you're overreacting," he said. "You're not. They crossed the line." She swallowed hard. "I know," she whispered. "I just don't know what to do yet." When the call ended, she sat in the dark, surrounded by quiet proof of favoritism. Her car was gone. Her trust was gone. But one thing replaced it: resolve. If they had turned her dream into debt, she would turn their guilt into consequence. This time, she wouldn't be silent. 3 days passed before Minh An finally texted Lynn. "Coffee, noon, the place near your apartment, just us." Lynn replied within seconds, a single word: "Okay." When Minh An arrived, Lynn was already waiting, sunglasses on indoors. The confidence she wore at home had vanished. Minh An sat down, voice calm but sharp. "Show me your business plan." Lynn blinked, caught off guard. "My what?" "The plan," Minh An repeated. "Your projections, suppliers, budgets." Lynn hesitated, fumbling in her bag. What she pulled out was pathetic: sketches, color swatches, slogans. No contracts, no numbers, no strategy. "This is what you stole my car for?" Minh An asked quietly. Lynn's hands shook. "I just needed a start. I thought once sales came in." "There are no sales," Minh An interrupted. "You didn't build a business. You built a fantasy." Tears welled in Lynn's eyes. "I wanted to prove I could do something too," she whispered. "Everyone keeps comparing me to you." Minh An's jaw clenched. "I worked for everything I have," she said. "I didn't forge anyone's name to get it." The cafe grew quiet around them, voices dimming like background noise. Lynn's phone buzzed, a flood of notifications lighting the screen. Refund demands, customer complaints. Her launch had already collapsed. "The formula didn't hold," she said weakly. "Half the bottle's cracked. I can't fix it." Minh An stared at her sister, the designer clothes, the trembling hands, the fear. For a moment, pity flickered and died. "This isn't my problem," she said. "You made your choice. Now live with it." Lynn reached across the table. "Please, I just need a little more money to fix it." Minh An laughed once, bitter and hollow. "Not a penny," she said. "Use the same creativity you used to steal from me." Her words landed like a slap. Lynn's face crumpled, her shoulders curling inward. "I didn't mean to ruin everything," she whispered. "You did," Minh An said, standing. "And I won't let you ruin me too." She left the cafe, the bell chiming faintly as the door shut. Outside, the city pulsed with indifference. She walked slowly, each step steadier than the last. At home, her phone buzzed again, updates, screenshots, chaos. Lynn's business was burning down in real time. Day by day, she watched it crumble: refunds, lawsuits, silence. Her parents called, begged her to help. She ignored every call. This wasn't cruelty, it was consequence. Sometimes love meant letting people fall. At night, she sat at her desk, the Frankfurt files glowing on her laptop. Work was the only thing still solid. But even numbers couldn't drown the ache. Her family had betrayed her, and her career might be next if she lost focus. Still, deep inside, something hardened. The guilt faded, replaced by clarity. She couldn't fix them, but she could reclaim herself. And that would be enough. Sunday evening arrived with heavy clouds hanging low. Min An parked by the curb, not in the driveway this time. It felt symbolic, a quiet refusal to belong. Inside, her parents were waiting, faces drawn and tired. The smell of roasted meat filled the air, masking tension. Lynn came late, sunglasses on, shoulders slumped. No one spoke for several minutes. The clatter of plates was the only sound. Finally, Min An set down her fork. "This isn't about failure," she said evenly. "It's about theft." Her father sighed, rubbing his temples. "We thought we were helping," he said. "Helping who?" she shot back. "Her or yourselves?" Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "You've always been strong," she whispered. Lynn needed a chance. "At my expense?" Min An asked. The table went still. "Do you even know what that car meant?" Her voice trembled, but not from weakness. "It was 6 years of overtime. It was Grandpa's legacy. It was my proof." Lynn looked down, shame heavy in her silence. The doorbell rang, cutting through the air. Her father opened it to reveal Uncle Hoa, broad and stern. "What the hell were you thinking, brother?" he demanded. Her mother stiffened. "This is a family matter." "Exactly why I'm here," Hoa replied. He took a seat beside Min An, nodding once. "Someone needs to stand for the one you wronged." Min An reached into her bag and placed a folder on the table. Inside were legal papers, crisp and final. "This is what you did," she said. "Forgery, fraud, misuse of property. It's a felony." Her parents stared at the documents, color draining from their faces. "You wouldn't turn us in," her mother whispered. "I don't want to," Min An said. "But you need to understand what you've done." Her father read the penalty section aloud, voice breaking. 2 to 5 years in prison. Her mother's tears came fast, and real this time. "What have we done to you?" she sobbed. "To us." Min An said nothing, only watched the truth settle. Lynn's voice cracked. "This is my fault," she said. "I convinced them you understand. I thought it would work." Uncle Hoa leaned forward, tone firm. "Regret doesn't pay debts. What's the plan?" 25 days before the car's auction, Min An replied. Her father straightened slowly. "We'll fix this, somehow." For the next hour, they calculated. A home loan, jewelry, savings, even Min An's emergency fund. Each number was a piece of shame placed on the table. When they finished, her father exhaled. "We call the pawn shop tomorrow." The weight in the room shifted, not forgiveness, but direction. As Min An stood to leave, her father spoke softly. "Thank you for giving us a chance." She paused at the door. "I'm not giving you a chance," she said. "I'm giving you responsibility." Outside, rain began to fall. For the first time, it felt clean. 2 weeks turned into 28 days of exhaustion. Min An barely slept, balancing her job and the chaos at home. Her father worked night shifts for the first time in decades. Her mother sold heirlooms wrapped in trembling hands. Lynn sold her designer scarves and handbags in silence. Every sacrifice was a stitch in a broken family. The pawn shop extended the deadline after a partial payment. 15 million down, just enough to buy time. Each receipt felt like a small breath of survival. Min An pushed harder at work, chasing a performance bonus. The numbers blurred, but quitting was not an option. This wasn't just about a car anymore. It was about reclaiming self-respect. Her friend from the office, Mai, brought her dinner one night. "You look like you're running on fumes," she said softly. "I'll rest when it's done," Min An replied, half smiling. Across town, Lynn started her first real job. No glamour, no camera, no praise, just long hours and tired feet. For once, she didn't complain. Her father called daily, voice rough but determined. "We'll make it," he said each time, more to himself than to her. Then came the last hurdle, the bank delay. 3 more days for the loan to clear. But the pawn shop didn't care about family timelines. "First full payment wins," the broker said coldly. Panic spread like wildfire. Her mother cried quietly, holding her head in her hands. Lynn tried to sell her last few pieces of jewelry. Still short by $3 million. Minh An sat at the kitchen table, calculator in hand. Numbers mocked her, reality closing in. The doorbell rang. Uncle Hoa stood there, a checkbook in his palm. "Family helps family," he said simply. It was the same phrase her mother once used, but now it meant truth. The next morning, they crowded inside the bank. The digital clock blinked toward noon. Her father signed the final authorization, hands shaking. At 11:42, the confirmation appeared on the screen. Payment received. No one spoke, only exhaled together. Later that afternoon, Minh An stood outside the pawn shop. Her reflection shimmered in the glass door, tired, but unbroken. Inside, the broker greeted her with a nod. "All paid," he said, sliding a folder and a key forward. She signed her name, the real one this time. The key felt cold, familiar, heavy with meaning. Outside, the black Mustang gleamed under the sunlight. She ran her hand along the polished surface, searching for damage. There was none, but the real scars were invisible. The engine started with a deep growl, steady and strong. Tears spilled down her cheeks, unbidden. She had her car back, but the joy was hollow. Her family's betrayal echoed behind every victory. Driving home, she whispered, "It's not just metal, it's what it represents." The road stretched ahead, silent and endless. She didn't smile. She didn't cry anymore. She just drove, toward whatever came next. A month passed before Minh and returned to her parents' house. The air felt lighter, but the silence stayed sharp. Her father greeted her at the door, voice careful and low. "Dinner's ready," he said, as if testing fragile ground. They ate quietly, the clink of cutlery filling the gaps. Lynn pushed food around her plate, eyes avoiding contact. Finally, her father set his fork down. "I have something to say," he began, hands trembling slightly. He unfolded a small paper, words written in neat lines. "I betrayed your trust," he read slowly. "I failed to protect what mattered to you." Each sentence hung heavy, sincere and unpolished. Her mother's tears came softly, not from guilt but regret. "Please forgive us," she whispered. Lynn straightened, voice small but steady. "I've been working at the mall for a month," she said. "I'm paying everything back, every cent I can." Minh An looked at them, heart tight but no longer burning. "Healing takes time," she said simply. "Trust isn't rebuilt with promises, only actions." The next morning, she met with her lawyer. The contract lay on the table, repayment terms, signed and sealed. Her parents and Lynn would return the money with interest over 2 years. It wasn't revenge, it was structure. A clear boundary written in ink. Uncle Hoa witnessed the signatures, nodding with approval. "For once," he said, "everyone is accountable." Later that week, the extended family gathered for a reunion. Whispers filled the backyard until Minh An arrived. Aunt Lan cornered her with a glass of wine. "You've made your point," she said. "Let it go." Uncle Hoa stepped in before Minh An could answer. "They need to own what they did," he said firmly. Lynn stood up, trembling but brave. "I manipulated them," she said aloud. "I used their love to justify my selfishness. I hurt my sister." The crowd went silent. Some nodded, others looked away. For the first time, truth had a place at the table. Days turned into weeks, small changes growing like cracks of light. Her mother began asking before touching anything of hers. Her father built a new garage extension, locked, alarmed, secure. "Only you have the code," he said, handing her the keypad. Lynn sent her the first repayment, modest but real. Every message came with proof of work, not excuses. One evening, Minh drove the Mustang up the mountain roads. The city lights faded behind her, replaced by open sky. Wind rushed through her hair, clean and cold. She remembered her grandfather's words about dreams and metal. Now she understood. It was never about the car. It was about respect, boundaries, and self-worth. She parked at a mountain overlook, engine humming softly. Below, the valley stretched endless, golden in the sunset. She breathed deeply, shoulders finally light. The past had cost her peace, but it had bought her clarity. Some families need boundaries to learn love. She smiled faintly, turning the key again. The road opened before her, free and bright, like her future. 1 year later, the mountains glowed beneath the morning sun. Minh An's Mustang roared along the highway, steady and alive. Each curve felt like freedom, each mile a quiet victory. Her hands no longer trembled on the wheel. The weight she once carried had turned into strength. Her parents had kept their word, every payment on time. Lynn lived simply now, working hard and learning humility. Their dinners were quieter, but honest. No more secrets, no more stolen dreams. Minh taught finance classes for young women on weekends. She told them about protection, about boundaries, about worth. She spoke of mistakes without naming names. Her favorite line always made them listen. Dreams are fragile until you learn to guard them. After class, she'd sometimes drive alone into the hills. The wind would sing through the open window, clean and wild. She'd think of her grandfather, of everything she'd lost and found. The past didn't hurt anymore. It had become a story, one she could finally close. As the horizon widened, she whispered softly, "I'm home." And this time, she truly was.